Hi, I'm Ben from Motivation to Invest. Our mission is to motivate you to invest for your financial freedom. Whether that means escaping the 9-to-5 drudgery or just improving your quality of life, I'm here to help you by providing you with valuable investing tips and strategies. The world is in the midst of a global epidemic. With the complete shutdown of all bars, restaurants and gyms, and a lockdown of the entire planet, people have started to develop some very unique spending habits. People have been panic buying everything from face masks to hand sanitizer and even toilet roll. Is this a disaster? Well, for most people it probably is. However, for some businesses, it's a very, very profitable time of year. So in this video, I'm going to list 5 businesses which are profiting from the coronavirus epidemic. And I'm also going to ask the moral questions. Is it right for them to be profiting? Should they donate a portion to charity? Let's dive in. Coming in at number 5 is home office equipment. This has forced many companies to have to accelerate their remote working capability rapidly. As you might have guessed, the sales of home working equipment has skyrocketed. Everything from desks, chairs, keyboards, mouses, these have all vastly increased in price and in many places are sold out. This brings me nicely to number 4, which is video conferencing software. With many businesses forced to make their employees work remotely, they've had to get to grips with the technology fast. And they've also had to pay over the odds if they want the service quicker. So one company which has made a killing during this coronavirus epidemic is video conferencing software provider Zoom. Zoom's share price has skyrocketed in the past few months due to the coronavirus epidemic and the forced remote working. Coming in at number 3 is home gym suppliers. Now, with all gyms closed, people have 2 choices. Either they can stop working out or they can scramble for home gym equipment. And you can guess what people have done. The sales of home gym equipment has skyrocketed, with many large suppliers selling out fast. Suppliers which still have the products available have these at a premium price, especially second-hand sellers such as those on eBay and Facebook Marketplace who decided to bring their old weights out of the garage and now sell them for a substantially large profit. Now, I used to love the gym. I used to go to the gym 6 times a week, so I was one of those scrambling for the equipment. I managed to source a pull-up bar before the rush, but I'm still looking for a reasonably priced weight bar. I have many friends who have started manufacturing their own home gym equipment with scaffolding bars and metal tubing, welding them together to create a type of home gym. I've seen these retail on sites such as eBay for £180 per unit. That's a substantial profit for some good quality welding. Coming in at number 2 is the media. The media is a sinister one because it's ubiquitous and it's everywhere. You just can't get away from it. Every news broadcaster, every newspaper, this industry needs to have some light shed on it. Because where do people get their information from? Usually the news. So if they have their own intentions, which many do, because they're private companies, they're a business like any other business, they have their own goals, then that should influence what output of information they give to the people. Primarily, people are motivated by 2 things: fear and desire, or pain and pleasure. So on this channel, we're called Motivation to Invest. So we're more on the pleasure side. We're trying to motivate with positivity and optimism to help improve people's lives. Whereas the news tends to motivate people more on the fear side. So it tends to talk about disasters and hurricanes and earthquakes and murders and deaths and viruses and epidemics. So these broadcasters actually make more money and have more audience viewing figures during a time when there is a global catastrophe. such as the coronavirus epidemic, you would have noticed everyone is now tuning in for the news at 8 p.m, 9 p.m, every night to get the daily coronavirus update.
And thank you for joining us for the daily briefing on our fight against corona. Of those hospitalised in the UK, sadly, 2,352 have died.
Now, flashback a few months, people weren't doing this. These media organisations keep their viewers glued, like me and you, by playing on that fear. Because people are frightened of missing out on a global event, they'll tune in because they want to see what's going to happen. An example of the profits which these organisations were making was pretty clear when I saw a global coronavirus update, and this was obviously replayed onto YouTube. However, before the video come on, which is a public service safety announcement, which I believe people should watch to be informed of what's going on in society, there was an advert played. Having advertising before a safety announcement seems very strange to me, because it's a government safety announcement, but because the government is using the media outlets and the major newspapers to display that information, then these private businesses are taking advantage of that and saying, well, we've got these millions of viewers now, let's put an advert in front. And they're still making a lot of profit. And trust me, if the world's all sunshine and rainbows, these media outlets will not tell you it's all sunshine and rainbows. They will tell you, is this going to last forever? Is this our last sunny day? Is a typhoon coming soon? Because that's what keeps people engaged. I'm not a person who is against the news. I think it has its place, but I just don't believe it should be obsessively watched. And I do believe it has a negative effect on people that obsessively watch it, because we're all a product of what information we consume. If you're constantly consuming fearful information, you'll tend to be a more closed and more fearful person. You'll probably have higher levels of stress, have higher levels of anxiety. Whereas if you're consuming investing information, or property investing information, or stock market investing information very, very regularly, or positive thinking information regularly, you'll tend to be a more positive person. You'll tend to be someone who's more opportunistic. You'll tend to be someone who's obviously more interested in investing. So now we live in an age where we have a ubiquitous amount of information available to us. And now the power is in our hands. What information do we choose to consume? If you want to be a positive and optimistic person, then you need to consume positive and optimistic, but still practical information. Coming in at number 1 is Hand Sanitizer. Now, this is one of the most booming industries at the moment. With a worldwide shortage, panic buying of the product, it has seen sellout after sellout, and prices have inflated across all markets. Even the raw ingredients such as isopropyl alcohol has skyrocketed in value. Previously, 1 litre of isopropyl alcohol could be purchased for less than £2 a litre, whereas now you can pay upwards of £30 for 1 litre, or you can pay £80 for 5 litres. Now they are very, very high prices. As you might have guessed it, many large businesses have jumped on this bandwagon. Brewdog has a range of hand sanitizing products, and I even noticed a lot of private eBay sellers making up to £10,000 a day. So after seeing those figures, I decided to do a YouTube experiment for you guys. If you want to see how that went, just check out the link below. Very, very interesting. I invested in 100 litres of the raw ingredients to see if it was possible to flip for a profit. I also donated some to a charity, but it was just to prove the proof of concept, and it wasn't without its challenges. So for the full video on that, it's really interesting. Check the link out below. Now for my final thoughts. No matter what situation is happening in the world, there will always be someone who is profiting. The real question is, are these people just using their initiative and making a profit to help their families, or are they taking advantage in a negative way? Should government step in? Should things be more regulated? I'd love to know your thoughts, so please drop them in the comments below. If you found this video inspiring or informative, feel free to like, comment, and definitely subscribe. See you next time.